Welcome to Free Media. I'm Amber Duke.
And I'm Robby Soave. Well, under DOGE, Elon Musk has taken aim at USAID, or the U.S. Agency for International Development, calling it a criminal organization that must die, which President Trump seems to agree with, though critics argue an act of Congress is needed to shut down the agency permanently.
Will it take an act of Congress to do away with USAID, or do you believe you have?
I don't know. I don't think so. No, not when it comes to fraud. If there's fraud, these people are lunatics. And if it comes to fraud, you wouldn't have an act of Congress, and I'm not sure that you would anyway. But we just want to do the right thing. It's something that should have been done a long time ago.
This naturally caused Democrats to speak up.
Elon Musk, you may have illegally seized power over the financial payment systems of the United States Department of Treasury, but you don't control the money of the American people. The United States Congress does that under Article 1 of the Constitution.
And a billionaire that hasn't been vetted, has not gone through confirmation, has not been elected by the American people, who we still do not understand what in the world he's doing, should not be telling American employees that they cannot access the building they work at. What kind of country is this man turning our country into?
And they also went ahead and doxed Elon Musk's squad of engineers that are helping him accomplish his DOGE dreams. The Daily Beast writes, one is a 19-year-old college freshman and heir to a popcorn fortune. Another was hosting Model UN sessions in 2019, and a third was given money by his parents to invest in stocks while at his high school in Silicon Valley.
Also, the White House seemed to confirm that Musk is a, quote, special government employee. What does that mean exactly? No one quite seems to know.
Elon Musk is a special government employee.
Yes.
What kind of security clearance does he have?
I can confirm he's a special government employee. I can also confirm that he has abided by all applicable federal laws. As for his security clearance, I'm not sure, but I can check back with you.
Did he pass a background check, do you know?
I don't know about the security clearance, but I can check.
And do you know about anyone who's on his team that was at USAID this weekend or at Treasury Department, whether they also have security clearance?
I don't know, but I can check on that for you. Sure.
All right, I mean, first of all, I appreciate that she said, I don't know, but I'll check for you, instead of like lying through her teeth like our past press secretary liked to do.
There's nothing wrong with handling it that way.
Yeah, that's fine. I believe since then, Katie Miller, who's running comms for DOGE, has said that they do all have security clearances so that they can access this information. But look, this is a whole lot of bloviating from Democrats because they're upset that their gravy train is going to end. I mean, USAID has been spending money on all kinds of insane things abroad, and I have a little list here just to give our viewers an idea of what kind of things they've been involved in. Okay, so $39,000 for a book festival seminar about gender identity, $48,000 to educate Polish youth on how to be LGBTQ, $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala, $6 million to fund tourism in Egypt. You're gonna love this one, Robby. $53 million to the Eco Health Alliance.
Yes, now you're stealing from my list.
Okay, I'll let you go then.
I have the same list, it just has one item on it,
that one. Distribution of contraceptives, including 65.5 million condoms, 81 million to promote civic engagement and peace in Palestine.
Were those in the wrong Gaza, though, or something? Or did you see
There's specifically one for condoms for Gaza.
I thought it was actually in Africa, though. There's a different place called Gaza. There was some...
Well, either way, they can buy their own condoms. Anyway, this is insane. But beyond just the funding of these sort of like progressive social ideas, USAID is actually a little bit more pernicious than that because a lot of these programs are actually fronts for the CIA where they actively recruit local political activists to help topple governments that the U.S. doesn't like. So they did something like this in Ukraine, I believe, in past decades, and this is how they basically get around a president actually determining foreign policy. Is they funnel it all through USAID, and the unelected deep state, the foreign policy establishment, gets to basically dictate whatever foreign policy they want.
No, it's funny you bring that up because there's actually been a long-running left criticism of USAID for exactly that reason. And frankly, I saw some very ideologically principled people on the left saying, trying to tell other people in the progressive coalition, well, wait on it, hold on there a minute. We might not want to defend this one because they have not liked the hegemonic U.S. foreign policy forcing ourselves on other countries that comes, the strings attached to the U.S. aid money. They don't like that. It's that kind of centrist bubble of establishment Democrats and some Republicans, although they're kind of falling in line now with what Trump wants to do, who have been supportive of this kind of spending. To which I say, look, it's one thing to spend to promote American interests. Is that actually even working? Is there evidence? Are we giving money and then getting the policy we want in response to that? That's my question. Has the recipients of of American taxpayer dollars put the U.S. in a safer and more secure place with respect to the rest of the world? I'm not sure that it has. That's A. B is, as you point out, there's just tons of ludicrous things that we're funding as well, including funding for, as you mentioned, the Wuhan Institute of Virology, the labs, the gain of function research. Not all of this was granted through NIAID, but some of it was from USAID as well. To EcoHealth Alliance, an organization that has been ruled can no longer be a recipient of federal funds because there are questions about whether they misrepresented how the science was going to be conducted. That's already been established by the government, and this is one of the agencies that got government funding under USAID. So I am happy to see this really scrutinized and gotten rid of, although again, doing it through congressional oversight would be the way rather than, my understanding now is part of it is gonna be under Marco Rubio at State Department, and the rest might be gutted.
Yeah, and I think it should be under State Department so that it's actually aligning with the executive's vision for American foreign policy. And you're talking about national security and American interests and how we need to question whether this aid is actually assisting in that effort. I would suggest it's not, because they spent a lot of money in Afghanistan, including for solar-powered streetlights that were stolen. They were paying opium farmers 2 times the price of opium to grow corn, and then Afghani inspectors had to go in and make sure that they were actually growing corn. Instead what happened is they actually pocketed the extra money, continued growing opium, and then bribed the inspectors. And a lot of the money that was sent over to Afghanistan has since been seized by the Taliban.
Oh my God. Well, that doesn't sound like like it's a well thought out plan. In terms of these young geniuses working for Elon Musk at DOGE who were revealed by Wired, look, I don't quite think it's necessarily doxing or wrong for a media institution to do reporting on, to publish the names of people who are working at this pivotal non-governmental agency, but that is advising Donald Trump and is very involved in what policy is happening right now. I don't think those people necessarily have such an expectation of privacy if they're handling weighty public policy government stuff. At the same time, I think that threats on their life are totally unhinged, and I have seen threats on their life, including from I think a Baylor University professor who was called on them, dead or alive, whatever kind of angry rhetoric. And even that, I don't know that those are true threats of violence necessarily, but it's very ugly rhetoric, and they're facing a lot of just insane and unhinged attacks right now.
Yeah, I think Reddit had to shut down one of its subreddits because there were so many threats against these people publishing their addresses and saying, do what you will with this, essentially.
Yeah, well, don't publish their addresses, but their names and
I think it's fine to know who they are.
Them.
I think that's fine. I guess you get into that sort of blurry line when the media outlets are sort of explicitly talking about how horrible they are and kind of ginning up this base that they know is going to act this way, right?
I thought they made them sound cool.
I thought
the one
so
guy decoded an ancient scroll.
I know. And you look at the biography of the people who are writing about the Doge mini geniuses, and one of the writers was talking about how he's a proud orange cat dad and he loves to sleep in his spare time. And it's like the dichotomy of these two groups of people could not be any clearer.
Yeah, I saw an interview with the guy who decoded the scrolls who was like, I just, I spent a lot of time thinking about the Roman Empire. I'm like, ladies, this is what men are like. We just think about the Roman Empire a lot. It's true.
Yeah, computer nerds take on the deep state.
Love it. More free media right after this.